I all I see is that there was a reply. So that's all I get. All right, fake knife round. So while normally you'd be expecting to be seeing this on a Crossfire stream, I welcome you in to the Floofies production, where I am judge, jury, and executioner for all 10 of these players. Really, I am none of those things, but maybe I'm at least the judge. We're having a nice fake knife round. Attila and Bright. Oh, it's going to be Attila to win out in the end. There goes that. And now we wonder, where is Flacco? Because we need this last death before we can start the game. There it is. See you in the server chat and enjoy the game. All right. Quarterfinals for Crossfire Season 5. It's getting serious. By the end of next week, we will crown a victor. So, hang on to your butts. Hang out at the edge of your seats. And enjoy Counter-Strike 2 and Dust2. Picked by raisedbypixels. We dive on in. 3 players out long for Festina Lente. They are operating on an assumption that is not going to be realized by raisedbypixels. B spawns leads them towards the tons and out toward mid. Not going to be any contact early on this one. Interesting is there's 2 players on B for Festina Lente, but raisedbypixels have seemingly entirely avoided them, so it's going to be up to Fruit Cup to take this first contact. As the players start to cross cat, the shots are not connecting. He's going to need a little bit more than that, but he gets the gush taken. Luckily, he's got Gamble nearby, and these players are going to be chewed up as they move their way across cat and toward the site. Michael Wecky now looking for the 1 versus 5 kill on CK, but it's not going to be enough as Maxwell will clean him up. So a very good start for Festina Lente, not only winning the round, but stopping the bomb plant for raisedbypixels, meaning that they will have nice momentum going into these next couple of rounds. No force buy for the T side, no money, only 1 kill in total. So it's going to be nothing but pistols for this T side. And Bright taking the nade off the bat. Be feeling a little bit sour off of that, though not too much damage done. Festina Lente holding pretty far back away from these pistols, not going for any early fights. I don't want to offer up anything too risky early on. It is Dust2, so these long angles are very favored. It's going to be Gamble taking first contact on the cat player. Fires a shot, backs away. The smoke will send them scampering back towards mid. Ooh, Vegas maybe looking to go in through the smoke, but going to decline to do so. Looks like it will be some pressure over applied by tons by raisedbypixels. Couple of shots put down on the opposite site. Maxwell spots a shoulder, puts down the smoke. He's going to be ready with the MP9. That drops the bomb as well. The rotation going to have to be called in, though, as raisedbypixels are not stopping, but the USP pulled out. He's good for a second. Good trade by Michael Wecky, though. The Deagle for the headshot right back through the smoke. Does give raisedbypixels a little second lease at life, but Fruit Cup watching the other side of tons. Not going to allow them any sort of extra space. Gamble scout pegs another. Leaves Michael Wecky all alone to be chewed apart by the FAMAS of CK. Festina Lente 2-0. All right, 2 rounds, 2 kills were raisedbypixels. But this is where the rifles come out. This is where they get to see if they stop the bleeding, if this one is going to get away from them. It's a very important round to secure for this T side. Raisedbypixels making their way up through mid. And as per usual, a little bit of feelers over towards Cat, a little bit of feelers in Tons. Just looking for early information, but Festina Lente with the util doing a good job of denying anything too early. We're going to go devolve back into our typical Dust2 default. DK taking the early presence up on Cat. This could be rewarded, but there's a few players for raisedbypixels here. The flash flies in, and CK shut down before he can do anything. Util sent back. Campbell trying to slip away, but now raisedbypixels know that he is here. He's gonna put down the red carpet, but they'll just walk right on through. The smoke buying him a bit of time, but it's not enough as Michael Wecky shows up. Now 2 versus 4 for Festina Lente, and already Fruit Cup has been domed. That'll leave things up to Frizzy, but there's just too many guns on the other side of this, and raisedbypixels secure the first buy round. Well, that does create a little bit of an issue in the bank accounts of Festina Lente. They've only lost 2 players in the last 3 rounds aside from that, but DT side economy does tend to be a little bit unfavorable. So now raisedbypixels get to put their foot on the driver's seat, or the gas pedal. Smoke will put a pause on the round, so raisedbypixels do have to be a little bit careful. Pistols, you never know when there's going to be that critical hit that just makes you wonder what actually happened. Michael Wecky going to be the first one in, but the 5-7 makes quick work out of 2. Frizzy chewing through both. Attila looking to battle back here. He's got both. Bright with 2 as well. Vegas with the cleanup. As raisedbypixels, they battle back after losing 2. Long play working out well. But now, with a 2-round loss bonus, Festina Lente looking to force back in. Got an MP9 and a FAMAS, but also gamble on the AWP. Could throw a wrench into the plans of raisedbypixels. And I just want to point out that raisedbypixels is a very apt name when you look at this loadout right here. The factory new hydroponic with crown stickers and the green gloves that I don't remember the name of. That's like $10,000 just sitting in those hands. So, raisedbypixels is a very apt name. Hedge Maze, thank you. Now the challenge in through mid. Frizzy and Maxwell playing this side by side. Nade onto Frizzy might be enough, but Maxwell sitting behind the door. Oh, only able to find the head of Vegas. And the B bomb site has been left open by Festina Lente. So, free bomb plant for raisedbypixels, and a bit of an iffy retake. The AWP and the M4, not really the weapons you want to bring to the fight when you're retaking the B-bomb site. Fruit Cup might just be chilling at Tons, waiting to see if somebody peeks a head out, but other than that, this one's going to be a save. We might have a chance, though. Raisedbypixels send 2 out. Flacco and Michael Wecky going to be sidelined. At the very least, that is an AK recovered and weapons taken away. But the money for raisedbypixels has started to moon. We've already got 9,500 on Vegas, plenty of money on the rest of the team, so there is going to be another full buy, despite taking away a lot of these weapons. Meanwhile, Festina Lente eating the short end of the stick here. They've spent so much into this past couple of rounds that they're back with the FAMAS and the MP9s. Well, they're going to challenge out mid, though, going for the optimistic challenge. Flacco up mid early on. Spots 2 on Cat. Oh, the flash works out perfectly, and behind him, Michael Wecky going to send that mid player to the Shadow Realm as well. So that's a bomb site unlocked in the first 20 seconds of the round, leaving Fruit Cup and Maxwell left to scratch their heads and just wonder where they went so wrong. Fruit Cup offers himself up to the Double Doors player, wonders if there's someone there, and Bright more than happy to take that rifle back for the T side. Now Maxwell left in the 1 versus 5. Almost good for 1, but nothing else to be done. Raised by Pixels. We're going to get a little bit hot here on Dust2. Yes, normally Crossfire on the Crossfire stream, but you know, sometimes you gotta roll up and pull out your own stream. Now, pistols for the side of Festina Lente means that they're gonna have themselves around in the back seat. Attila making his way up onto the Xbox. Oh, it's just as Flacco gets his head ripped off. There is the trade coming through. Now, again, money absolutely flowing for the side of Raised by Pixels. This T side is quite wealthy. So they will have plenty of time, even if they do lose a round, to bounce back. Of course, you don't want to be giving anything up for free. 4 versus 3, and you can see Raised by Pixels keeping things very careful, putting down the smoke for mid to cross over toward B. It's not going to allow Festina Lente to spot anything. Molotov on towards Cat. Gamble just going to be sectioned off behind this smoke. Maybe hearing the scope of Vegas. But, I mean, how do you even peek that? The 5.7 is good, but still have to be pixel perfect. And even if you hit the headshot, that's still not 100 damage just yet. Though, good spot for Fruit Cup, but can't get anything done off the back of it. Gamble, at the very least, going to take the weapons away from 2. And Frizzy joining into this as well. The 5.7's managing to get ahead of the rifles, but Bright is just going to be on the tail of Frizzy. Oh, he's managed to make it into the B bomb site without being caught. He's not going to have time for the defuse. He's not going to have the kill either. Raised by Pixels, now 5-2. And I mean, it has to be called out that Bright is looking quite sharp so far, as is the sub of Michael Wecky. Hitting some very good shots so far this game. Now, Festina Lente back in the money. This is about where that bleeding needs to stop if they want to establish any kind of a presence on the CT side. Otherwise, Raised by Pixels are going to be lowering Festina Lente into... I don't actually know where I was going with that. They're lowering the prices. They're crashing the market. I don't know. This is what happens when I'm forced to cast by myself. I think that certain references would be a much better idea than they actually are. Now play out long, and Fruit Cup is here to try and stop it. He's going to need a multi-frag. He's got Flacco, and he's allowed to back away as well. Michael Wecky looking to make him pay. Can't quite find the shots, though, and from below, Fruit Cup shows us that the high ground is not all it's cracked up to be, but Raised by Pixels will make their way out on the A site, and Attila scrubs 2. even things out at 3 versus 3, and moreover, that bomb going to be brought into this site as well, so this retake going to be an interesting one. Fruit Cup down on 27 HP, and CT going to be cut off from contention here by the Molotov. Vegas spots the elbow on the AWP, but he can't nail the shot. It's Fruit Cup with the AK. Meanwhile, Maxwell with the head of Attila. It's Bright left in the 1 versus 3 to try and defend this bomb, and he's got Maxwell. Would be a 3K to secure this round. There's Fruit Cup as well, but Frizzy in the smoke, he's just defusing. It's a full 10-second defuse, but Bright's out of ammo, has to pull out the Glock. He's hit some of these shots, and he will find the head in the end. 6-2 for raisedbypixels, continuing to hang on the edge of their seats versus Festina Lente, but the edge is enough. Raisedbypixels absolutely dominating Festina Lente. Not giving them a single ounce of respect, not giving them an option to work their way back into this. And I mean, sometimes that's how the T side of Dust2 can go. You get rolling and you get snowballing. Entries can be enough to just take a side away. You get so many holes in your defense so fast. Bright, more than happy to demonstrate what happens if you challenge these lower tons players, but CK behind him. Oh, guillotines 3. And there's still 2 more on the other side of this. Oh, good shots onto Vegas as well. Okay, CK might just be back. Waiting on the other side of this smoke. Vegas and the Cubby gonna get gunned down as well, and CK on for the ace. Right left in the 1 versus 5. Left to wonder what happened to all of his teammates. Everyone jumping up Xbox gets crossed out, and Maxwell through the tons is going to clean up that final player. As Festina Lente will win their first round in 6. And it's a clean round for Festina Lente, so they'll hold on to those rifles. They'll bring out the AKs of their opponents. No, it might take a little bit, but they get to iron things out here. They could even this half back out. Definitely a long shot for Festina Lente. Sometimes all you need is a spark to start a little fire. Vegas just waiting for a challenge outside of upper tons, but Festina Lente are not going to give it to him. No presence up cat either, so Festina Lente slowing down the pace of this round compared to the last just a little bit. Smoke over towards cat. Again, slowing down the pace of the round, keeping raisedbypixels at a snail's pace, but well, Fruit Cup caught on an optimistic wrap. It might be the trigger that raisedbypixels are waiting for. They'll head towards the A-bomb site. Bright and Flacco heading on in. Meanwhile, CK from below might have something to say about it. Gamble flattened over by Long, and that does even things back out, but it's kind of a bloodbath as Michael Wecky and Bright are going to close out this A-bomb site and leave Maxwell alone. And again, that's just, it's one of the frustrating parts of Dust2. I feel like you finally found the right combination of positions and pieces. Suddenly, everything just unravels.
Terrorists win.
I don't want to give false hope the Festina Lente. The buy here is not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be pretty. But one round would break the banks of Raised by Pixels and offer up the opportunity to at least make this a 5-7. Pause for Raised by Pixels. So I wonder what you discuss in a pause like this. You're already up by 4 rounds. Oh, you go right from the attack pause into the tech pause. Well, that's quite unlucky. Attila the Hun about to flip the switch. I mean, maybe. Attila's already had some bonkers shots that have allowed Raised by Pixels. At least one of the rounds that they've won has been just fully Attila hitting nutty shots. So if the switch has still not been flipped, then, man, I don't know what we're waiting for. Ooh, Molotov onto CK. Going to be burned out. Forces the smoke in response. Goes for the challenge, but there's 2 players here, and Vegas will erase CK from the server. A good trade from Frizzy evens things back out at 4, but man, every single death on the CT side is going to mean another hole in the defenses. Can't really afford those right now with the scout on Gamble. Not going to be as favorable as the AWP. Is he trying to get curious in mid, trying to get Swifty? Oh, he does find the head of Attila. That's going to be valuable. Bright going to be forced to fall back into upper tons. No bomb out for Raised by Pixels, but the op might give away that this is going to be a B hit in the end. Bright headed in first, and Attila Vegas is super low as well. A good shot by Gamble will send Raised by Pixels scampering. Vegas still probing, still looking for the shot here, but he only finds Frizzy. It's not going to be enough as Festina Lente finally flipped the script on them and hold the line on the B-bomb site. Now it's been a pretty gross T-side by Raised by Pixels. There's one more chance for Festina Lente to even the scores, and Fruit Cup is looking to be the start of that. Oh my goodness. 2 kills, Gamble joining into this. Vegas has been legged up, but still managing to frag his way back into the server. And it's a 2 versus 3 in the first 20 seconds of the round. Bomb into pit on the back of Michael Wecky. Like we are going to get a little bit of intrigue as Michael Wecky is going to hold long and send Vegas to play distraction all the way over towards B. Look for information. He's only got the 5 hit points, so this could be a little bit of a paper tiger more than something actually threatening. But he does have the AK, so the headshots are still something threatening, but Maxwell will send him away. So Michael Wecky now has an open A bomb site. They've completely fallen for this hook, line, and stinker. So Michael Wecky going to have the full open bomb plant. It's Festina Lente rush to respond. Got Maxwell and low in CT. There's still something, but as he's making noise, Frizzy with the easy shots will close out this first half with a 5-7 scoreline for Festina Lente. It's not going to be a comfortable one, but it's better than nothing.
Counter-terrorists win.
Yeah, if you're wondering why Floofy's bot says that, one of the rewards I used to have was you could choose your own welcome message, and I got rid of them because they were confusing and I felt like they were too spammy. But that was one that I left because he used channel points to get it. Anyway, T-side for Festina Lente and CT side for raisedbypixels for their own map pick, setting up the long presence on the CT side, gets completely steamrolled. Gamble with 2, Maxwell joining into this. That's a 3K for Festina Lente, sending raisedbypixels to the Shadow Realm. Vegas now in the 1 versus 5. Just waiting for that bomb to be planted.
Bomb has been planted.
Now at this point, you're just looking to maybe take an armor piece away. I mean, oops, you missed the jump. And now you've been heard. I think Fruit Cup knows that he's here. If not, he will in a moment. Oh, Fruit Cup even making tons of noise. Going to get his head lopped off as a result. And now Vegas being hunted by just about everyone on the Oh my goodness, catches Frizzy in the sky. Not going to get all the kills, though. Maxwell will finally put an end to him. But now we see what Festina Lente have to say on their T side. They've won both pistols this game. It could be something that raisedbypixels that comes back to haunt them. Big presence out long. Custer's revenge. And it's the rifles with everything to gain and nothing to lose. They do lose Frizzy, but everything else is just a full bloodbath. All right, big buy for round number 3, raisedbypixels. Bringing out the AWP early on, but again, we're going to coin flip long early. Just a fast, puggy strategy. I mean, when you have the spawns for it, you might as well give it a shot. This time it's getting shut down. Attila with 2. Trying to stop these Festina Lente players at the gate, and he might have just done it. All that Vegas needs is the 1 shot. Is Fruit Cup doing a lot of team damage there. Once again, pistol conversion, but first gun round goes the way of raisedbypixels. This time, though, Festina Lente will be force spying their way back in. They're not going to save up, so give themselves another lease at life early. But if this one fails, it definitely feels like a game that raisedbypixels could run away with. Michael Wecky making his presence known outside long doors. That actually causes Festina Lente to rethink their long presence. This push-up cat is really all this team has to offer. Round number 16, Attila with a good nade knocks about 100 HP in total out of the team. It's enough to soften up 2 targets, and Festina Lente just withered on cat. Raisedbypixels 1 for 5. A very solid defense on the A-bomb site. Festina Lente just get cornered. They get shoved into a tube. Interesting that they didn't want to challenge the MP9 out long. You got to think that having the information from long would have given them a little bit of a better chance on that last round. But now Well, now things get awkward. 9-7, and it's down to pistols for Festina Lente. Boosted up. Vegas going to erase the first player. Gamble comes up empty. And so the other 4 will just head on in through mid, right into the shooting gallery of Attila and Flacco. And everybody's dead. Definitely a worse pistol round than Festina Lente could have been hoping for, but hey, we get that out of the way, and now we see if there is a comeback on the cards for Festina Lente, but it would have to happen just about now, and they haven't called the pause. I feel like this is where you'd want to call a pause and plan something out, but no. Festina Lente are just gonna keep sending it and hope it works. Or maybe they just wait for overpass. I mean, specialist map could be where they look to come back, as Vegas has already deleted Fruit Cup off the server. Somebody forgot to smoke mid and has allowed that opper to get an early presence into the round. The nade. That was just to break the smoke, but do you see how much damage they're doing with the util? Again, Festina Lente, they're just being pushed around. The spacing is almost doing more damage to them than raisedbypixels are. Plurals are weird. Anyway, Bright about to slot these players in through mid double doors. A good trade out of Frizzy might allow for an attack on the B-bomb site, and Vegas, looking the wrong way, will let the red carpet down for Festina Lente. 2 versus 3 now on the side of raisedbypixels on the retake, and they've already lost Flacco. Gamble playing this one from tons. It was unexpected. Oh, and CK cuts the head off of Michael Wecky, leaves Attila all alone in the 1 versus 2. Knows there's an Opper one side and a Galil on the other. Good for one, but they peek out at the right time, and Gamble will secure this round. Festina Lente winning a pivotal round to look for a possible comeback here on Dust2. All good, Flavortown. And thank you to anybody that's stopping by to the stream. I know it's not the main stream. I know that means that I'm going to be doing all of the everything. So the production and all of it is going to be, you know, more personal and not quite as good. Ooh, the smoke! But Fruit Cup with the oblong catches Flacco early on. And that's something that Festina Lente haven't really felt, is that man advantage early on. Offers them a lot more options, and it's not even just early on, it's 20 seconds into the round. Festina Lente getting to set the pace of things, but if they're not going to expect the flank from Attila, this could be scary. Fruit Cup with a quick trade back. They lose CK in the scuffle, but now only 1 player on the A-bomb site. Michael Wecky needs to go huge as his teammates start to rotate over. He spots 2 players on Cat. Oh, Frizzy's down. Gamble down to 50 HP. Can't quite secure it, but will flatten him from above. Bomb not yet down. It does seem like Festina Lente have managed to finally get their feet under them on this T side. And Bright forced to back away. Festina Lente will bring this one back. 9-10. Should be a pretty decent buy for raisedbypixels, though. The saved rifle going to be a very important piece to build around going into round number 20.
Terrorists win.
And this round number 20 is really going to be where we either get a broken raisedbypixels that will have to forge their own comeback, or likely a raisedbypixels victory. One way or another, this round sets the story for the rest of the map. Oh, Fruit Cup going for the early op-out long, but this time no one will greet him. There's a double op set up on the side of Festina Lente, though, as Gamble has retained his. CK heading into mid quite quickly here, but doesn't spot Attila. This is now a scary position to be in. Oh, he's caught from upper. Caught from Cat. This time it's raisedbypixels' turn to start things off strong. Bright going to be mollied out of position. He's just going to be melted down. Frizzy with the kill on the window player as well. Means that raisedbypixels back in the driver's seat once again, but Michael Wecky going to stop them. Shots onto Fruit Cup leads to the headshot. 3 versus 3. Going to be the retake for Raisedbypixels. Frizzy on 6 whole hit points. A stiff breeze would be enough to kill him at this point. 2 players headed in through window. Attila looking at double doors. But he might get spotted by this AWP. Oh! He's going to take the initiative. Shots onto Gamble, but it's not enough to keep Flacco and Attila alive. Michael Wecky now in the 1 versus 3. He's definitely got enough HP to pull this off, but Gamble is going to erase him off the server. And Festina Lente tie things up at 10. Oh, going to be set up for the cross once again. Gamble. Oh, misses the jump, but players have already crossed. This is a dangerous one. Flacco and lower tons with the CZ. I would fear this. If somebody is willingly buying the CZ in 2026, you fear that player. But CK, not going to be afraid. Cuts his head right off. Should be Festina Lente on 11, but look at this crunch into upper tons. The pistols are going huge. For Festina, for Raisedbypixels. Frizzy, though, in Fruit Cup. Oh, they wither the defense. And it's just Attila left standing. Managed to recover that AWP. Doesn't even go for this, though. 1 versus 2. He's not the offer for his team. At this level, everybody at least knows the little minutiae on the flicks, but more valuable to hold on to for Vegas. So, Festina Lente tasting the lead one more time. Not leaving anything to chance, of course. Gotta stay on site, even if, you know, Attila's off in another zip code. Oh no, this is worrying. They're playing from pit. Might find one of Festina Lente if they're not careful, but they won't cross his path, so... 11-10. Continues to be a very close game here for Crossfire Season 5. Oh, we're gonna get the play into out through double doors again. Fruit Cup getting burned down to 32 HP, but the smoke will cause Raisedbypixels to back away. Not a great start to the round, but Lente at least take ground. Oop. Painful nade. I think that was a team nade too. Leaves Michael Wecky on half HP. Vegas spots the smoke, falling for the cross. Gonna get up on top, try and take the early initiative as Festina Lente are charging up long. Oh, this could be scary, though. He misses the flick, and now they know where he is. Everybody going to go for the overwhelm. They've got the flank as well, but kill comes out from Maxwell. Still a chance for Festina Lente. Fruit Cup needs to be watching the flank, though. Otherwise, Michael Wecky might just have himself a smorgasbord of backsides. Fruit Cup will be the first headshot for him. Michael Wecky not done with the challenges yet, just yet. Players crossing from Cat as well. Flacco looking for the trade is going to find it, but CK trades it back. 3 HP now is Bright. Can you encroach onto this A-bomb site and the headshot secured bomb plant or bomb defuse come through. And raisedbypixels even things out at 11.
Counter-terrorists win.
No broken economy. Just a nice scrappy game of Counter-Strike. And we get a timeout, which is perfect. Perfect. Time for everyone to catch their breath. So, and I do want to call out the fact that raisedbypixels, good to see that they're using their timeouts. That neither team has a coach in the server. But, I mean, it's one of those things that even without a coach, taking a timeout to just be like, all right, who does what? Where are we going? You know, let's not run into each other and spawn. Just simple little things like that can make the difference between success and failure. Like, it's not even that a coach is needed to call a plan. It's not even that, you know, your IGL can be the one calculating money. So it is a perplexing thing when I see timeouts not getting used. But either way, I mean, Festina and Lente without timeouts have managed to keep this one up to 11-11. Well, I said a few rounds ago that was the game. Apparently this round is the game now, as we are going to be going all 24. Festina Lente keeping things slow, playing this one close to the chest. Looking for the early picks, but raisedbypixels won't give up anything for free. One nice thing is there is a lot of util being pulled out of the CT side. That is something that the T side can be a little bit happy about until they're going to take point on these long players. Raisedbypixels sensing a push, sensing blood in the water. Fruit Cup with one. Gamble joins in. Waikaweki with the trade down to the 3 versus 3, but now he'll be chased down. He's going to hold his back to the wall with claws out. Double kill for the 3K, leaving Maxwell alone in the 1 versus 3. Drops down to CT, making his way up to where bomb has been left. Gonna have to challenge Michael Wecky for control of it, and Michael Wecky comes out on top. That's raisedbypixels on map point. And Festina Lente's economy has been shut down. That might be the game. Might be a 13-11 right here. There's always that chance, that small glimmer of opportunity for the tie. Bring us to overtime, but with the money left on Festina Lente, I don't give it a very good chance. Raisedbypixels are leaving nothing to chance. The Molotov into tons, making sure there's no B rush to speak of. Smokes, they've got plenty of util to hold off this choke point. Vegas in window is about to have a shooting gallery. Oh, but the timing unscopes at just the wrong time, so eats a bullet instead. And the smoke into CT, cutting Michael Wecky off of this push. It's not going to matter, as the rifles on the B bomb site are still more than happy to wall off this B bomb site. 5-7 comes out, and it is a complete rout. Raisedbypixels 13-11 will secure map number 1, and we head to overpass. GG's. Raisedbypixels secure map number 1. And that means that they will be up a map as we head into the selection of Festina Lente